What's up, everybody? This is Chris, aka Bar911970. Thank you for watching my video, and I'm going to try and do this again because it just shut off on me in the middle of my nice little rant. That's always fun. I want to explain a little bit of why I'm doing and why I did that petition. Now, the first thing I want to say before I get into that is the one thing I will request from people is if they can watch a video before they comment. Because there were some people that have been asking questions lately that if they would have watched the videos that I post, the very questions they ask would be answered in the videos. So I understand people like to be first and things like that, but it's important to listen to the video before you're asking questions right off the bat, because what's the purpose of watching it? So if you guys can do that, I'd appreciate that. With that being said, the reason that I did this petition, I know that even if we got the 100,000 signatures and Obama has to look at it, I seriously doubt he's going to have an aha moment, say, you know what, I've been wrong this whole time. Look what these people did. Let's give them back their original constitution. I'm not an idiot. This, to me, is to send a message that we're awakening and we know what's going on. It's also an opportunity when people share it to get new people to discover something they didn't know about. Because the one thing about my channel, and I take a lot of pride in this and I enjoy this more than anything else, is I consider myself like a first-year teacher, like a first-grade teacher. I like awakening new people. I like introducing people to this stuff when they've never heard of it before. I like the gratitude that I get from somebody that says, you know what, I knew there was corruption, but I didn't know how, I didn't know why, and because I came to your information, I now know, thank you. I love that. So I know some people who've been following me for a while, it's kind of like going to first grade. You don't want to go back to first grade again, and if you've done it 10, 15, 20 times, it gets pretty redundant. So you have to reach another level and then go on from there. So I know a lot more than I talk about, but I want to keep it basic so this way I can introduce new people, because you cannot take a kindergartner and try and teach him astrophysics without him or her walking out in total frustration because they won't have a clue what you're talking about. And I feel that if you want to awaken the masses and you want to awaken individuals, you have to make it basic, one step at a time. If you're on the first floor and you want to get to the second floor, you have to take steps to go up, one step at a time. You can't climb the whole floor in one step, unless you have a jetpack, and if you do, you're cooler than I am, and I'd love to be your friend. So with that being said, if somebody shares that link, and they sign that petition, and they show it to their friends, or they place it on other people's Facebook pages, or other people's Twitter accounts, or even on things like Jesse Ventura's YouTube page and other people's YouTube page, maybe Ron Paul. It's endless. And if somebody looks at the link and they click on it and they read it and they say, Act of 1871, I've never heard of that. Let's look it up. Or a second constitution, what are they talking about? Let me research it. That person just went from not knowing any of this stuff to now being curious and wanting to learn. And that's how we get people on our side. Because if you don't know what's going on, how can you fix something you don't know exists? And like I said in another video I made a week or two ago, I made an example of if you were adopted at birth and no one ever told you you were adopted, how much of your life would you spend trying to look for your real parents? Zero. Because why would you go for searching for something that you didn't know existed? And if on your 18th birthday, all of a sudden your parents who you thought were your natural parents sit you down and say, oh, by the way, you're adopted, at that moment is when your search begins. But you're never going to look for something you don't know about. And as you can see in this country, especially in the United States of America Corporation, or United States Corporation, our media shuts off as much information as they can that will enlighten and educate us. They want to drown us with garbage. And that's why even when I looked at the petition, I was actually searching some of the other people's petitions. There were at least a dozen deport or not deport Justin Bieber's. That's what this country is really the most important about. And of all the petitions I saw, those had the most signatures. It's sad. And I understand people might say things like, oh, I don't want to sign. Well, you don't have to. There's no ultimatums here. I'm not threatening anybody. I'm not saying to people, oh, if you don't sign, you can't be welcome on my channel or anything. I'm showing everyone out there that I am more than just talking. I'm trying to do something. And I'm trying to do something peacefully. And I'm trying to show that I am not afraid. You shouldn't be afraid either, to show that we can make a stand. Because if you look at our forefathers, look what they had to endure. They had no electricity. They had no televisions, no radios, no newspapers. They had to fight a war where they weren't even a military. They didn't even have military outfits. It was just regular people that formed a militia who were fighting in winter and didn't even have the proper clothing, where people were dying in the woods and people were losing limbs from frostbite. Just imagine what they had to go through, and they weren't afraid. And all we have to do nowadays is type a couple of things on a computer, look up information in our house. So I understand that this petition is not going to change the world, but it's going to send a message, and it's also going to show that we're not afraid, and it's also going to awaken new people. So that is the purpose for this petition, and I want people to understand that. And that's why I'm asking the people who care and the people who want to do something, and they don't want to form a militia, because I've said, how many times have I said these things have to be done peacefully? We don't have to do what they did, because I don't care how many guns you have. The government is going to have much more, much better, and they will destroy you. And if you want to go out in a blaze of glory, that's wonderful for you. I hope you don't have family, because I don't think they'd appreciate watching their father or their husband or their friend being blown away. Because you can have as many guns as you want, and all of a sudden, 15 to 20 military-geared police come in with full body armor, automatic machine guns with a tank outside, and a whole bunch of others waiting there just in case you try and leave. What are you going to do? That's not how we're going to solve things, because all that's going to do is give them the excuse to beat us down, create new laws, and open up those wonderful FEMA camps that so many people are afraid of. So I'm asking the people who care, the people who aren't afraid. And that's why I'm leading by example. And I can only do so much, but I'm trying to do something peaceful. So for the people out there that might say, oh, you're wasting your time and you don't know what you're doing and this, that, and the other thing, we'll come up with something better. And if it can be something that's productive and peaceful and we can make change, I'm all for it. But I don't see many people out there doing that. I see a lot of people critiquing. I see a lot of people insulting and making fun of things. I don't see a lot of people making their effort. So I'm doing my little part to show that I'm not afraid and I don't live in fear. And I could find a way to do something where it causes at least an eye or two to open and not have to injure or hurt someone. So for those who care, share the video. Make your own video. Post the link on your Facebook account, your Twitter account, all your social media. Take the link. Go to Gerald Celente. Go to Alex Jones. Go to all different places on the internet. Show that we know what's going on. We, the people, are not just going to sit around and wait for someone to save us, that we're making an effort. And yes, it may not work. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, this petition will change the world. But we have to do something. Sitting around doing nothing, what has that done with our countries around the world, and especially here in the United States corporation? Is our world getting better with the NSA, with the Patriot Act, with the National Defense Authorization Act? Are things getting better? So at what point do we say enough is enough? And by the time we get to that point, it'll be too late. So people may not understand what I'm doing. But I'm doing it because I care, and I'm showing that I can do more than just sit on a computer and talk a bunch of talk. I've put myself on the line. I'm the one that created that petition. I'm the one that signed it first. I need your help. So for those of you who care, I'm asking for your help. I'm not telling you to help. I'm not forcing you to help. I'm asking. If we get this to send a message, then at least somebody out there knows that we're not just asleep and we care about Justin Bieber. We actually care about things that are important for our future and our family's future. Be a part of something. Thanks for watching. Peace.